Part 2 International Relations. Article 73 International Relations. The government of Ghana shall conduct its international affairs in consonance with the accepted principles of public international law and diplomacy in a manner consistent with the national interest of Ghana. Article 70 for diplomatic representation. 1. The President shall, acting in consultation with the Council of State, appoint persons to represent Ghana abroad. 2. The President may receive envoys accredited to Ghana. Article 75 Execution of treaties. 1. The President may execute or cause to be executed treaties, agreements or conventions in the name of Ghana. 2. A treaty, agreement or convention executed by or under the authority of the President shall be subject to ratification by a. Act of Parliament, or b. A resolution of Parliament supported by the votes of more than one-half of all the members of Parliament. Part 3 The Cabinet. Article 76 The Cabinet. 1. There shall be a cabinet which shall consist of the President, the Vice President and not less than 10, and not more than 19 Ministers of State. 2. The Cabinet shall assist the President in the determination of the general policy of the government. 3. There shall be a Secretary to the Cabinet who shall be appointed by the President. Article 77 Meetings of the Cabinet. 1. The Cabinet shall be summoned by the President who shall preside at all its meetings, and in the absence of the President, the Vice President shall preside. 2. The Cabinet shall regulate the procedure at its meetings. Article 78 Ministers of State. 1. Ministers of State shall be appointed by the President with the prior approval of Parliament from among members of Parliament or persons qualified to be elected as members of Parliament, except that the majority of Ministers of State shall be appointed from among members of Parliament. 2. The President shall appoint such number of Ministers of State as may be necessary for the efficient running of the state. 3. A Minister of State shall not hold any other office of profit or emolument whether private or public, and whether directly or indirectly unless otherwise permitted by the Speaker acting on the recommendations of a Committee of Parliament on the ground a. That holding that office will not prejudice the work of a minister, and b. That no conflict of interest arises or would arise as a result of the minister holding that office. Article 79 Deputy Ministers. 1. The President may, in consultation with a Minister of State, and with the prior approval of Parliament, appoint one or more Deputy Ministers to assist the Minister in the performance of his functions. 2. A person shall not be appointed a Deputy Minister unless he is a Member of Parliament or is qualified to be elected as a Member of Parliament. 3. Clause 3 of Article 78 applies to a Deputy Minister as it applies to a Minister of State. Article 80 Oaths. A Minister of State or Deputy Minister shall not enter upon the duties of his office unless he has taken and subscribed the Oath of Allegiance, the Oath of Minister of State and the Cabinet Oath, as the case may be, set out in the second schedule to this Constitution. Article 81 Tenure of Office of Ministers, etc. The office of a Minister of State or a Deputy Minister shall become vacant if a. His appointment is revoked by the President, or b. He is elected as Speaker or Deputy Speaker, or c. He resigns from office, or d. He dies. Article 82 Vote of Censure. 1. Parliament may, by a solution supported by the vote of not less than 2/3 of all the members of Parliament, pass a vote of censure on a Minister of State. 2. A motion for the resolution referred to in Clause 1 of this article shall not be moved in Parliament unless a. 7 days notice has been given of the motion, and b. The notice for the motion has been signed by not less than 1/3 of all the members of Parliament. 3. The motion shall be debated in Parliament within 14 days after the receipt by the Speaker of The notice for the motion. 4. A Minister of State in respect of whom a vote of censure is debated under Clause 3 of this article is entitled, during the debate, to be heard in his defense. 5. Where a vote of censure is passed against a minister under this article, the President may, unless the minister resigns his office, revoke his appointment as a minister. 6. For the avoidance of doubt, this article applies to a deputy minister as it applies to a minister of state. Skips Part 4 and Part 5. Part 6. The Attorney General. Article 88. The Attorney General. 1. There shall be an Attorney General of Ghana who shall be a Minister of State and the principal legal advisor to the government. 2. The Attorney General shall discharge such other duties of a legal nature as may be referred or assigned to him by the President, or imposed on him by this Constitution or any other law. 3. The Attorney General shall be responsible for the initiation and conduct of all prosecutions of criminal offenses. 4. All offenses prosecuted in the name of the Republic of Ghana shall be at the suit of the Attorney General or any other person authorized by him in accordance with any law. 5. The Attorney General shall be responsible for the institution and conduct of all civil cases on behalf of the state, and all civil proceedings against the state shall be instituted against the Attorney General as defendant. 6. The Attorney General shall have audience in all courts in Ghana.